we have people say like, "Oh, we were we was the first man on this." Nah, you wasn't. There's a lot of different entities, a lot of different vessels came before you. That's why I said it's important to not get caught up in the vessel and get caught up in the consciousness. God noise. See, if you get too caught up in what this vessel is, man, it's gonna be a hard day for you when you find out that you have reptilian DNA and you have the DNA of all these other things you say you hate, and that's where the self hate starts to come in. At see what I mean? It made you hate parts and bits of your DNA, and that's why it traumatizes you, and that's why you have that self hate on yourself.
Everybody here is connected in some fashion, and our success and our children's success is tied up together. And so I think most Americans feel that way. But what is still true is that there's still kind of a reptilian side of our brain, right? That part of our brain that if somebody looks different or sounds different, that there's a part of us that is cautious.
When attacked, pufferfish release a neurotoxin. In high doses, it can kill, but in small doses, it has a narcotic effect. It seems to be affecting the dolphins. They appear totally blissed out by the whole experience. And remarkably, all take turns in passing the puffer around. This is the first time that apparent recreational drug use has been documented in dolphins.
Did you know that dolphins are the only creature that you are legally prohibited from interacting with unless you're in a registered facility like SeaWorld? Now you may be thinking, well, dude, the government's trying to protect these creatures. If they really wanted to protect dolphins, they would be banning pesticides which are polluting the world's oceans. Did you know that there used to be a birthing center in Hawaii that was a dolphin-assisted birth center, where you'd go and you'd interact with these dolphins giving birth, and something very miraculous would happen? Keep in mind, the mainstream media went full smear campaign on anyone even considering having a dolphin-assisted birth. So why is that? At these birth centers, a strange phenomenon would happen where the women who are pregnant would be sitting in the water and the dolphins would come around and start swimming in circles around them. They would create a natural vortex around the woman, and they would use their sonar to allegedly psychically heal and interact with the baby, the unborn baby. A man named Igor Charkovsky assisted thousands of underwater dolphin-assisted births with women from around the world, and the results are astounding. Children born with a dolphin-assisted birth had higher IQ, higher physical capabilities at a younger age. They were able to walk sooner. They were able to talk sooner. Something happened with these dolphins and these humans that increased their mental, cognitive, and physical abilities. How is this possible? Isn't a dolphin just a damn dumb fish? Two ways to figure out how exactly you can gauge the intelligence of an animal. One of them is the brain size. Another one is the folds, in the brain, which are indicative of the amount of neural cells that can be present. Dolphins have some of the most folds in their neocortex than any other animal on Earth, which means they could be extremely advanced, and we wouldn't know it because we don't know how to speak dolphin.
The sequencing process itself is run on a device called the genome sequencer. In our case, we used two sequencers. One for the primary analysis, MiSeq sequencer, and HiSeq sequencer for a comprehensive analysis of the genomic DNA. A great amount of data is generated after sequencing. This data is generated in the machine. After this data has been generated, it is transferred to a computer, and then our colleague Alexei, a bioinformatician, used them to analyze the data. He found out that there are actually ancient samples, and we can yield the ancient DNA, and we have it. The fact that this ancient DNA has a lot of variations that our alternative to the standard genome is quite interesting. In other words, it tells us that we actually have unique and new data.
The latest results from the DNA studies of the bodies have shown surprising results for Maria and Wawita. This means that according to the report from the DNA samples taken from several areas of the bodies, they were able to get approximately 23.8% from Maria and 25.6% DNA from Wawita of human-like DNA, but none of that matched to modern human DNA.
The sample was analyzed to determine whether or not it contained human DNA, which was one of the hypotheses that could explain these strange bodies. That possibility was explored, and the results were around a 10% match in strict conditions, and even relaxing some of the parameters, we could not get a 100% match with human DNA. The analysis included a vast array of species. One of the software programs we use, in particular, performs comparisons with more than 1 million species, which allows us to approximate as much as possible the sample with the DNA of all currently known species. Some species were a higher match, some plants and bovine DNA, but still in very small portions. I have to say that this sample contains DNA that we currently don't know. It could be from an organism that has not been studied. Perhaps there was some microbiological contamination of the samples, but it could also be original DNA from these bodies. That means that these bodies could belong to a previously unknown species.
The genetic results were also shown to William Brown, a biophysicist from Southern California, and his take on the tests were very interesting.
Of the DNA that was isolated, only 25% of the total matched any known human gene. So that means that 75% of this DNA is not matching any known human reference sequence. And you know, this is pretty rigorous because there's like the 1,000 Human Genome Project, where they have done whole genome sequencing of over 2,000 individuals from every continent on Earth, and compiled kind of like a average human reference genome. And so you take these sequences, isolated from the sample with this being, and you go and you compare them to that human reference genome data. And only 25% match up. 75% don't.
Given the small samples the team had, they wanted to ask the first question: could this DNA match any known modern DNA? And that answer came out as no, from the lab the Mexico team used in Canada, and also the team in Russia. Is it normal for all labs in different countries to come up with the same results?
See the game they play? That's why you gotta stop with all this original man shit. Original. No, you're not. For one, you're too watered down. There's no more pure beings on this planet. Not civilians. You see, we were brought into this planet, man, as well. Look at it like how the Greeks done it. You know how they had Olympus, and you was like had to go to the Olympics and get through the trials. Like that's why we are on this planet. We're supposed to get through the spiritual trials and get back to being complete non-ether beings in the flesh and in the spirit. You see, we were aligned at once, and then you had, like I said before, you had some that was just 6 ether, because they were undeveloped, so they were beast-like, they were animalistic. They didn't get to their 9, so they didn't know what it was like to be civilized and spiritual and disciplined. So we've lost that way. We dropped from the 9, and it's our job as a people, as a whole, as a unit, to get back to that. Get back to the all. Everything that is everything. You see, you might have a lot of people ask, like, well, why would the Most High put us on this planet just to be played with. Nah, it's like, why would he let you into heaven knowing that you ain't ready? You don't have the mindset. You ain't even, you can't even make it through on this planet. Damn sure ain't ready for what's up there. That's why, like, yeah, we gotta get out. We gotta get out this internet conscious community. We need to start meeting in person. The energy is fake. You can't feel people's real men. You got people scared to have conversation with like minds because there's so many weirdos that you have to filter through on the internet because you're not seeing these people and feeling their energy in person. It's a lot of strong spirits out here, bro. Like a lot of, I see y'all, but y'all won't accept the guidance that motherfuckers is trying to give y'all. Y'all just know it all. I understand. Ain't picked up a book. Just think of what we could do when we agree on something, when we focus on what we agree on instead of what we disagree on, how far we could go. But the internet is full of disagreements, man. That's all it's ever going to be full of. And distortion and grayness. And we need the alignment of colors. Paying people for knowledge, like that is crazy for me. I don't understand how people see it as okay to know that our knowledge has been hidden from us and then find that knowledge and then charge people to get the knowledge. I mean, that's what they've been doing to us. You know what I mean? So you're just giving them a helping hand and keeping us on a low frequency. That's how I feel about that. You know, and you might have some people say like, "Oh well, I mean, you got to make them pay for the knowledge because I had to pay for it." You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I, in my right higher self, how can I, in my higher self, say that I'm getting righteous knowledge when I'm paying for it with blood money? The American dollar is blood money. And you want me to pay for something valuable to our people in my spirit and my soul with blood money. All right. And then the other thing, this the other excuse that gets me. Yeah, you just can't give the knowledge to anybody, man. They'll misuse it. You mean like how it's been getting misused against us? You mean like that? That's how they misuse it. You just gotta get it out there, man. Put it out there, man. Who's supposed to receive it and worthy of receiving it, they'll receive it. The lips of wisdom are open to the ears of the understander. That's a little quote from the Kabbalion. Another great book hidden away from the masses to keep us away from ourselves. You have people to be like, "Oh wait, you don't need no book. You don't even need that book information anyway. Like it's in self." No, what you have to understand, you know what I mean? In order for you to even be able to use the term understanding, you see what I'm saying? You have to internally know. The belief is gone after that point. You see what I'm saying? You added a thought of believe. So you can't even use the term understanding if you're still trying to understand. Understanding means there's knowledge above what you know. So yeah, you are understanding more knowledge. And once you obtain that knowledge, now you have an overstanding. And after that overstanding, then it becomes understanding. Because you know that once you come to that overstanding, you realize who you are. And then it goes back to I am self, or not they, them, I think. You see in the state that we're in, we've been out of our spiritual ways. So these religions, these books were set in place for us to put more discipline on our lives and our spirituality on the planet. You understand what I'm saying? And those books were corrupted and turned from a knowledge of self system to a belief system so they can control you. As long as you're in a state of seeking and misinformation, then you can't ever find self, knowledge of self. And that's why they put all this confusion in the books. See, these books are like I say, like everybody try to steer you away from the books. Or it's in it. You already got the knowledge. It's in the all. Yes, but these books are blueprints to help you get spiritually back in tune. Remember, you've been broken down to a foundation. Some of you, not even a foundation. You don't even have nothing to build on. Your foundation has been stripped from you. So these religions were supposed to be foundations so you could build your temple on for your higher self, your God. Build God's temple. That's where that concept comes from. That's why Solomon's temple was built. Solomon's name breaks down to 3 different gods out of 3 different religions. Sol, On. One is Egyptian or Nubian, one is Roman, and one is Hindu. And these are all sun gods. Coincidence? I think not. In your Bible, it talks about On. When Rachel was conceiving Benjamin, she wanted to name him Ben Oni, and his father changed it to Benjamin. Ben Oni means son of On, because they were in the sun worship. And all through your Bible, it tells you that sun worship was from the evil people and the barbarians or the wicked people to keep you away from yourself. The Egyptians, they're the children of Israel too. The so-called Israelites, like that title is for one set of people. That title is for individuals who are capable of synchronizing the mind with the spirit. See, one thing you have to consider and realize is these so-called higher ups or the evil forces that be, they can't overpower us. They never could, never will. All they can do is hide you from yourself. Because once you find yourself, the game is over. They have no more power. Because they know that there's going to be gods that's walking the planet and no longer beasts walking the planet. And some of you may ask, well, why isn't the higher ups saving their children? Why aren't they helping us? That's where the term free will comes in. He gave us free will. He didn't just give us free will. He gave the devil free will too. The devil just listened. Our asses didn't listen. We still have the free will. You're just too tied to money because you gave the power to money instead of the power to self. Oh, I can't do shit because I don't have enough money. I can't do this because I don't have enough. You are everything you need. And when you realize that you give everything in your life power, they can't take that away from you. Stop making money an element of your happiness, or you're going to forever be in jeopardy or losing that happiness because you gave that power to someone outside of yourself. Fuck money. Pay me in love. Pay me in truth, man. For real. Like, I do not give a fuck about money. I know I needed to survive because they put us in that box, but fuck that shit. We got to break loose from that box. Let's pay in love. Pay me in love, man, because love is truth. And that's the one currency we've been lacking this for eons. Nobody wants that currency. Now, give me the thing that's attached to hate and greed and deception and snaky behavior and mischief behavior. This is what we're telling our subconscious when we take money for our creative power. When you're online and you're on the internet creating stuff that you manifested in your mind, you're selling your soul. That's what selling your soul means. And you're literally doing that. They got us in a fucking spell, man. We gotta break free from it. Hocus pocus like a motherfucker. You can't tell, you don't feel it? Think for a second. Why should I have to pay? Who am I paying to sustain a life on this planet, on this ground that I walk on? Make it make sense, man. Ask the right questions. They don't have no power. You're giving them power by not fighting. Y'all want to keep everything on their internet, on their waves, on their Wi-Fi, on their broadband. That's where you think we're gonna transcend. Now we're on their playing fields, man. That's why I salute people like Billy Carson who's making his own platform. You see what I'm saying? 4BK knowledge, man. Y'all get in tune, bro. But like people like him making their own platforms. People like Andrew Tate making their own platform. People like Dame Dash. Y'all gotta understand what the fuck is going on, man. They trying to lock you in. Got you locked in. What you gonna do about it? Oh no, 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 no. I don't wanna give up that shit on about. Yeah. It's gonna take up giving out a little bit of comfort for shit to change. Y'all comfortable, man. But what the internet done for you. So blinded by what is the destruction it's been causing and the confusion and division because we're not in the same rooms together feeling real energy.
Scientists at the European Organization for Nuclear Research, or CERN as it's better known, have discovered a way to open up an interdimensional portal. CERN's scientific discoveries are yet again turning everything we thought we knew about the universe on its head, changing the fields of physics and astronomy as we know it. Weighing over 7,000 tons, the LHC is so powerful that scientists were able to create the conditions that occurred 1/1000th of a second after the universe began.
The energy isn't real. The internet was made to have them give you the illusion that your message or your energy is getting put out into the world, but it's being distorted. It's being watered down through their airways, through their cosmic waves. The evil forces. You understand what I'm saying? Keeping us separated. Where's our temple, conscious people? so we can magnify this energy. But no, everybody wants individualism. My viewpoint is better than your viewpoint. I got more followers than you, and la da 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 da. I don't give a fuck about my following, bro. I want the message to get out. I want better versions of myself in the world. I want the message. I want this truth to get out, so our people could stop getting confused and realize who they are and who the devil is. Please steal my message. Bootleg it. I don't care. Like, put this shit out to the world. Like, I need to get out to the world. I don't care about getting money off this. That's not like, I'm rich. You understand me? God, no. Like, and I want you to feel just as rich, bro. Like, it's another way. And y'all too lazy to get that other way, to unify and come up with the other way. We need an escape plan. We got to get out their grips. And y'all ain't working quick enough. They might shut my channels down after putting out this information. That's if it get out. But enough of me rambling. All that is symbolic and literal at the same time. That's what y'all have to understand about these texts. And it's so hard for y'all to grasp that, because your spirit and your physical body is in a line. But once that starts to spiritually align, your physical and your spiritual aligns, then you'll start to grab this on a larger scale. You understand what I'm saying? You understand that the physical nature of these texts and the metaphysical nature of these texts is one thing. It's literal and metaphysical at the same time. It's layers of information. But your third dimensional mindset can't fathom nothing past linear information. But this is stacked information that's on top of each other. It's fourth dimensional. And once you come out of this tetrahedral state of mind, three-sided pyramid state of mind that traps energy. That's why you're trapped on this planet. When you break free from that and you come into a new version of reality, a new side of reality, now your foundation turns into a four-sided foundation, which is a quadrahedron. Realize what's within you, which is a reflection of the universe, and what you do affects the universe. And then you have the other part of your Merkaba. Now, you have to take in consideration that pyramid starts from one central point. You understand what I'm saying? Just like the 0 point in your brain. So you can't reach that higher dimension of understanding until you reach that 0 point in the brain, in higher consciousness, which is in the pineal, your seventh heaven. Now think about how pyramids are built. They're built from the center point down, like Angkor Wat, the Hindu pyramids. They were built out of one piece of rock from the top to the bottom, from the top to the foundation, meaning you were a god first. And the reason behind that is so that could resonate with your soul at this current moment. You were a god first. So don't focus so much on what you're not. Don't see what you're not as what you lack. See what you're not as what you have the potential to be. You started from that 0 point. You started at the top. And now throughout history, you've been a version of your lowest self. You know what your lowest self is. It's time to experience higher self again. And I'm telling you this from a experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been locked up. I've been in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't consider myself no street nigga, because like I fuck that shit. Fuck the streets. But you know what I mean? I had to adapt. You understand? But God knows. Yo, I had to become this to know this. To know that it could work. I had to get out of that gray area. Like I said, it's only two poles on the planet, two directions. They confuse you and make you think you got all these different directions. So that's what you tell your subconscious. You take out the law of polarity, negative and positive, and you try to blend everything together. Oh, I could be around these. They won't affect me. I could be around this negative energy, this great energy. I could be on the internet. It's not going to affect me like it affects people. I could be on it. It's not the devil to me. It's benefiting me. You're putting yourself in the gray area. And last time I checked, ain't no gray in the rainbow. You're using the devil's tools to do God's work. It's all symbolic, man. Like I said, it's literal, metaphysical, and metaphorical, man. It's all happening at once, and you have to understand that to get this, to grasp this information that you need, that your soul needs, that's vital to your soul. See, that's what these pyramids were. They were physical manifestations of our spiritual power, blueprints of your God body, and they've been used against us. That's what this harp is. It's the same energy and the same technology as these pyramids. They can control weather, they can control the minds, they can control what happens with your chakras.
Program called HARP, or High Frequency Activate Auroral Research Program, and it was quite a program. Officially, the base in Alaska studies the ionosphere. In truth, the real possibilities of the installation are enormous. Climate manipulations, deep detection of underground base or deposits, silent and remote destruction of any object, and most important of all, manipulation of human behavior.
Tampering with the aurora or northern lights, the aura lights, they tamper with those to control your reality and your perception of life in this dimension. And they're using it to flip the energy in on this planet. That's where they're flipping the rainbow. That's what all this gay pride shit is about. Them attaching you back to the six god mentality, the beast, the animalistic mentality. Because if you pay attention to the rainbow, the LGBT rainbow is inverted, meaning that your root chakra, your animalistic chakra, is first, which traps you in the animalistic mind. Congratulations, you're a beast.
That's right. Yeah, the glove's coming up.
And they have an artificial sun in the center of the planet, which was harnessed from an intergalactic fight. Another warship had shot a beam of energy at the son of Anu. Murdoch was his name. Murdoch. And the sun was actually a representation of Enlil, by the way. And there were two sons, Enlil and Enki. Enki was one of the head scientists that helped create the better version of human being on this planet, because we weren't intelligent enough. They knew we weren't going to be intelligent enough to save this planet, so they had to genetically modify the beings on this planet so we could come into science and save our dying planet from the sun. Now, Enlil, on the other hand, he was like the god of war, and he conquered planets, and this planet was given to him by his father. And that's why you get in the epic of Tiamat in the creation story, that his father gave him the weapons to have control over this planet, over the world. And he's also, which you'll find out in later texts, the God that you talk about, the God that they talk about in the Bible that comes down from heaven and goes to Babylon and asks, "What are you doing?" Well, yeah, that was Enlil asking his brother, "What the fuck are you doing, making the children of Israel and giving them the potential to become gods?" Keyword potential, powerful word. When you start to align things and look at it for a second, you start to see, okay, this is where the conception or this is where the concept of the devil came from, and Satan reaping havoc on the planet. You understand what I'm saying? Because he was mad at his brother for giving us the potential that he had. And that's why in the Quran it says, it makes reference to the children of Adam being made of mud, and Satan, the jinn, what they refer to as Satan in the Quran, he didn't want to bow to the children of Adam. He didn't think they were worthy to be like him. And ever since then, he's been stopping us from becoming our true God selves. And that's where the evils that be get their knowledge of this technology from him, so they can use it against us in his favor. How you think they know like all the dark, you know what I mean, the dark sciences and how to manifest the dark magic? Like they learned it from someone higher up, someone that looks like us. This is a family feud, ladies and gentlemen. That's why it's still in our nature for family. When it comes to that time, family could be the worst enemies because they know you the best, and it's replaying in our DNA. God knows. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of tie all this information I gave y'all together. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for some of y'all it might be hard to connect the dots. And man, just catch us on our YouTube channel. God knows the understanding. And I have visuals that go along with this so you can follow along a little better. Go ahead and wrap up part 1 of this rainbow theory, also known as the AURAKILL. And I'll meet you again for part 2, where we're really, really, really getting into these colors. You know what I mean? And really break down, starting from red, starting from that base chakra. And we gonna get to heaven, man. Want to give a special happy solar return to the master teacher, Dr. York, Dr. Malachi Z. York. A lot of this information I got from him, A lot of these interpretations, I'd rather say I got from him. The information I had already for self, but didn't quite understand it until Dr. York, you know. So it's good to have those mentors and those guys, man. Follow your guys, man. They out here, man. I guess I ended with a quote of the day, man, from Try Me himself. The reason your mind escalates. And the quote is, "A king can make a chair a throne, but a chair can't make you king. Know who has the true power. Peace, love, and prosperity. God knows."
You belong on the car, boy, we up. I could backflip from out the hands of God. If I sell dope and deny, does that make me a fraud? Protect yourself or incriminate yourself. Pick a side, why should I voice my opinion? I try opening their eyes before this shit hit the fan. They claim I lost my fucking mind. Should I step up and lead the line? Cause if I do, some people die. Cause I ain't with the peaceful signs and all the fake ass kumbayas. Fuck name is streets after Luther King. I set the world on fire. Though I'm balanced, see my demons, they'll just see my evil side. I let them ride the waves while I'm channeling my ties. The policemen are hyenas trying to take a king's pride. But when your aura lacks color, why care about black lives? This is the Oracle. The AURAKILL. For real.